That was from a handgun, no? Or
no? Yeah, that's my. So this is what I. We're live.
Oh
my
God, Kyle, where are we? Oh my God,
we're coming live from SRF.
Are you allowed to be? Dude,
Hey. You literally just got through telling us that this is not on any of our channels and we need to behave.
And then what do?
Well, I picked up the pillow to
use a phallic symbol to try to put it in my face.
Did you happen to see how you picked that? I'm just saying. Anyway,
it's natural.
Yes. Who wants to take the lead on this, guy? Somebody's got to talk.
Hey, we're live here at SRF.
2024. It's been 2024 for 10 months now.
Fall 2024. Got a bunch of straggly looking folks sitting here.
Swampy.
Who we got over here? Raise your hand, wave, and say hello. Can you tell me if there's ever comments that pop up there?
Nothing yet. Yeah, we'll see it. Nothing yet.
Do you know how many people are watching?
Right now, it looks like 3.
Hey, 3 people watching.
Look at you.
Introduce yourself around the
top
circle
left
here.
corner, next to the live.
The little red thing.
Ball. 2.
Close. Woo! We're killing it, guys. We are killing it.
Toolman Tim coming live from SOE, Camden, Tennessee. Good to see you.
Carrie Brown from Strong Roots Resources.
Ryan from the Lots Project.
Kyle Backwoods Butcher.
603.
603.
Yeah, Joe from Blake's Acres.
Zach from Trio Branch.
From what now?
Trio Branch.
Over on the Ticket to Talk.
He's a tickety talker.
Oh, a tickety. Oh, one of those tickety. Well, I just learned how to do Snappity Chat, and my kids really like that. So maybe I'll start with that tickety talk too. So.
I had a moment where all of a sudden I was looking at everything, and because again, this year has been very different for me compared to last year, where I am apparently now TikTok famous.
Are you?
And I looked at my numbers.
Hey, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh shit, Tim's only got 24,000 on TikTok, and I was like, oh,
Where are you at now?
I'm at 20.7.
Oh, you'll catch me.
Oh yeah.
Ask me when the last time I put a TikTok.
Right.
When was the last time you put a TikTok?
1993, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of years.
But mine was
Was
about.
that after you put it on MySpace and then you went right over to
It
TikTok?
was both, a little of both.
So who was in your top 5, or was it top 8?
You know what? I never had MySpace.
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
I completely missed me.
They didn't have that in
I'm
Canada.
32,
Yeah, it was
so.
in black and white back then. So I was like, yeah. And we had to post everything on a typewriter. It was miserable. So. And you had to dial in.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember them rotary phones? That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
I connected. I'd be like, pick it off, put it on a modem, dial a few times. Put it up to your ear. Well, the first year you had to actually call the operator and be like, can you connect me?
Yeah.
Did you ever have Prodigy?
I did, actually.
I have no idea what that even is.
How about, Prodigy? You got the AOL CD in the mail, didn't you?
Dude, I'm so old, I got the AOL floppy disks.
Oh.
So do you remember when Art Bell gave an Earthlink address?
Only in the reruns for sure.
Well, yeah.
So but I do. But I remember Earthlink.
I tell you, my mom is probably not watching this, but she still uses Hotmail. So
really,
Nicole still has a Hotmail.
Really? Oh yeah, no, Becky does. She has a Hotmail too. Yeah. That's me. I'm from Hotmail.
Hey!
That was really quick.
I think right now we're all Hotmails. For those of you who don't know and can tell, we are in a tent in Camden, Tennessee, with the sun blasting. It is
it's a standing 90, not in here. Whatever this is like. I don't know. Anyway, it's a lot.
We're in a sauna.
Yeah.
And of course, it has a front door which you can't see, but the back door, well,
we're all trying to cut weight. Honestly, is what it is.
We tried to go in the back door, but it was closed.
Yeah, we have SOE Fight Club after we close tonight, so we're all trying to cut weight.
You're
shit! Oh no!
Why are you sweating? I just started Fight Club.
Take your shirt off.
It smells like latex and shade.
I'll go full nipples out. I still got this lanyard if it's microphone to clip on. I don't care.
So, first one here? Is this your first time?
Yeah.
What are you thinking so far of all
I have no idea.
It's different.
Is it? What do you mean by different?
I didn't know what to expect. I really didn't expect the tactical side nor the homesteading side and the prepper community to mesh into this.
You'll see some granola crunching folks here too.
Oh,
which
sure
isn't
will.
a bad thing at all. We don't discriminate against any kind. You'll see. Yeah, it's great.
We want everybody to survive when they fuck us all over.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
screw us all over.
Hey, you're not the first 3 minutes. We're good now.
All right.
Sorry, Nicole's audience. I didn't mean to.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yes.
Uh,
Joe, your first time here?
First time here.
What do you think?
I love it. I came over with Kyle yesterday, and I was like, walked in, and I was like, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
but of course, we're walking around yesterday, and we had like downtime moments where it's like we had these nice moments. We're hanging out. We would sit over here, and all of a sudden, a couple more people would roll in. Have these little rounds, just hanging out, talks, people eating, and like having just good conversations. And like everyone would kind of dissipate. I look at them, I'm like, this is not the festival. Just wait. Just wait. It's broken. Accept it.
I don't want to fall over and go out the back door.
Hey, we're internet famous if we do.
Man, that'd be good. I cut out when I broke the chair in our last one. I should have
Yeah,
left it in, but
know.
I was like, I'm taking it out. So my fat ass broke a chair.
We were doing a video.
My rather rotund posterior broke a chair.
He was sitting in
And,
one of those camping chairs, and all of a sudden he was almost. It didn't go all the way down.
No.
It just kind of like started to give way. He's like, "Oh, we better stop recording."
You know, on an old vehicle when the parking brake's starting to wear out and it just kind of creeps down the hill a little bit. That was like me in a chair.
Like, you're getting shorter, man.
I'm getting something, that's for sure. Oh, yeah.
So is it your first time here?
It's not my first time. This is my second time, and I will absolutely have to say it is a completely different experience from my first, for sure. I mean, the last time I was here, I had posted my first YouTube video 5 months before that, and then was just kind of like, so I'm doing for Joe this year what Brian did for me last year, of just kind of guiding me through and just be like, hey, meet this person. Hey, this is the person you need to meet. Hey, this is the person you should probably say hi to.
Stop being scared
Stop.
of talking to people.
Right.
Right. So it's like I was that last year. I did that pig demonstration and then kind of walked around like, what are we doing? What is this? And now walking in this year, I think the first 10 minutes of us being here yesterday when there was a quarter of the people here, 3 people were like, oh, you're Kyle Beckwith Butch. I recognize your voice. And it's like terrifying. It is. I'm still not used to it, but the amount of people and support of everyone coming up and being like, hey, man, we love your content. We listen to the podcast. We do all this. I'm like, you're one of the 38 people that downloads my podcast? Like,
I think you should have brought red, and you'd have been a lot more.
Somebody, you want to read it for us? Sure.
Great to see y'all.
Raphael.
good to see you too, brother.
Good to see you. We can't actually see you, Raphael, but metaphorically speaking, it's good to see you. So,
But yeah, it's been interesting. That's for sure.
This is my first SRF.
Oh,
Is it?
stop it.
It's a mind blowing.
you feel like you've been here for a few years. You're really
like
relaxed.
I
Yep.
might have been here. This might be, I think, probably
this?
6.
Is it? Did we come to the first one together? Was that your first SRF, or did you come one before
I came
me?
one before you.
Did you? Okay.
So I came when we were in Minnesota. I came once, and then another time when we left, and then we came back. This is 5th, I think.
Okay.
5th. It's evolving for sure. I've definitely seen it grow. I've definitely made friends and reacquainted with people every year I come, and it's really cool to see them again, see how they've changed, because this event is a catalyst for your life. You come here, you don't know what to expect. You might be thinking about doing something. You might be already doing shit, and you'll hear 1,000 things you want to do, but you'll also have the energy to go do them, because it lights a fire under your ass, because you hear what everybody else is doing, how successful they are, they answer questions, they give you ideas, and then bam, you go home. And to come back in 6 months from spring to fall, or a whole year, and see the progress that this guy's made. I mean, I watch him all the time and talk to him all the time, but there's a lot of people that I don't, and to see him back here and catch up, it's great to see that.
There's a accountability factor in that too.
Yeah.
Because you know,
There
damn
sure
well,
is.
I'm like, dude, if I come back here like 40 pounds heavier, people are going to bust my balls. I know that. Yeah, I can say that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you come back and just, people are going to call you out on it because we love each other. We're a
If
community.
you say you're going to lose weight and you show up and you're bigger, somebody's going to be like, hey, what happened to that?
Right.
And, the number one leader in that is the guy that owns the facility.
100%.
And he's more than willing to call your ass out, which is great.
Yes, that's awesome. But I mean, so like piggyback off what you said, it's like to just meet people. Last year was the first time I met Brian, and then this time it's the first time meeting Joe. Me and Joe have been doing the podcast, and Zach. I was getting to him. me and Joe have been doing a podcast for almost a year together.
Yep.
And like, I mean, technically over because you were a guest like 9 times before you were a co-host. But it's like we've been doing a podcast for a year and never actually met each other. And again, Zach, we've been friends for a while on TikTok, and it's like he's like, hell, you're only like 6 hours from me at this festival. We're gonna take a ride up. Like
First time meeting in real life.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Meat space.
Meat space. I love that because I always called it my imaginary internet friends.
Yeah.
Because you remember we met. I don't know. It's been 3 years now, probably.
Yeah.
But we'd known each other in passing and through.
We've been talking back and forth 2 or 3 years prior to that.
Yeah, and then we were on a podcast. We had you on
Fireside
Freedom. A whole bunch of us that had never met, and I think that
first year was when the majority of us were here.
Yeah,
I think almost everybody on the podcast was there. Thesia, you, me, Tim,
Ken Ash.
Oh, Ken, yep. Yeah, it was
Hawkins.
I forgot Hawkins. Yeah, and
He's forgettable.
I want to say it's not JR. The woodworking guy kind of that was on there for a while. Can't remember his name.
My bad.
Real nice.
Aaron, maybe that was the LF.
He's so quiet. Nate and Aaron come on later on.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll think of him later. He's got a YouTube channel. He was there.
Who?
On Fireside Freedom, one of the originals. He was really quiet and then left after a while. Oh well, sorry, buddy.
Ago.
We lost it. So
Buddy is his name.
Oh my God, it is
Buddy
Buddy.
Lindsay.
It's Buddy Lindsay, and I said sorry, buddy, and there it is. Yes, I win. All right.
Who are you? You're Carrie. How many times have you been here?
We got 10 people on there now.
I think this is my 6th. I think I've been at all except for the very, very first unofficial.
Okay, so this is the 7th
official self-reliance.
So I'm probably at 5.
Yeah.
We're at 4. I think I've been here for 4, and I think Becky's been here for 3 now.
Yeah.
That's Mrs. Toolman. So yeah.
Yeah. So this just goes on the calendar every year. Spring and fall. This is what I know I'm going to be doing. I mean, short of something being absolutely sideways at home, I make it happen. It's kind of our oddball family reunion.
Right.
We always roll in some projects.
Well, that's what it really feels like.
Didn't we, this time? We really did roll in a project.
Got a lot done.
And that is, and again, we touched on it a little bit. That is but you're absolutely right. It is kind of like that weird family reunion of your internet family that you talk to almost every day or every other week and catch up and do whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we're all here in Tennessee just doing it. And it's like, that's the cool thing about SRF is it's like what I always call it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a lap. And you just walk around the building, go to all the different carts, see someone that you haven't seen yet, talk to someone, talk to a fan, or again, just a buddy that you met. And it's like, hey, brother, how you been? What's going on?
I would consider a lot of the people here closer than most of my extended family.
110%. Yeah.
Well, I talk
I
to
mean,
Kyle and
closer
Joe
than
every day,
other than my
more
wife.
than I talk to my family.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, everyone, like, this is our family down here. Like, our friends are our friends. Like, the only friends we have back north is a couple of in-laws. You know, my wife's sister and her my brother-in-law, her husband, and then of course my son-in-law's here. Other than our like kids, you guys are our family and our friends, and I love it. Like, we talk about you all the time, and then whenever I get to bring one more family member down here to meet you, they're like, oh, now I get it. Like Alice and Charlotte, for instance, your 2 favorite people now.
My 2 favorite people in the world are one of my best friend's kids.
And now I think we ruined Curtis. I mean,
I ruined Curtis the other
Yeah,
day.
you did. But he's a good kid. So yeah, a good kid who's 27 years old,
Right.
not much younger than you, right?
I'm 32.
30. Yeah. 30,
Oh my God, you're 32?
Right.
How did you make it that far?
I don't know. I have no idea.
And how old are you?
34.
34.
33.
30. Jeez.
46.
Bunch of youngins.
Yeah.
43. And I look. Yeah. And
41.
Ryan wins. Oh man.
Man, you're
Not
old.
by much, so.
T-ball.
Great Bush. This is not our YouTube, Brian.
Oh, I missed what he said. But, you know. They probably
Oh,
can't
don't
hear us
worry.
anyway.
They didn't because he's on a microphone.
Oh, that's true. So what did you take out of SRF last year, Kyle?
And what have you done with it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently quite a bit. No, it lit a fire under my ass of like last year at this time, like I said, I had only been doing content like 5 months. And I didn't really know what I was doing, just kind of posting stuff and seeing what stuck. I think I had like kind of started TikTok and was like, okay, let's see how this goes. I was pretty heavy into YouTube. We hadn't done the podcast yet. And
I remember somebody telling you that they thought your TikTok was really good, and you kind of like dropped your jaw when somebody actually knew your TikTok.
Yeah.
I think it might have
It
been the
was,
guy
like,
that owned the
brand new.
building.
oh, that's right. Yeah, no, John Willis was like, oh yeah, like your TikTok's great. And I was like,
Yeah, it is.
what the fuck? What is happening? So
Somebody
that
actually watches it.
somebody actually watches this, but then it just kind of lit a fire in my ass. And it's like went back. I think I started the podcast pretty quickly after that, just like a solo podcast. And I was like, yeah, I can definitely talk about one breed of livestock for an hour. And then I had I'd always have one too many herbal supplements, and then like just sit on camera and go through my notes and yeah, probably shouldn't say that, not on our YouTube,
it's
but
fine.
whatever.
We're here.
And all of a sudden go through my notes in 15 minutes and be like, okay, have a good night, click. And it's evolved to the point that now Joe's co-host. We go on every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Sunday. Try to every Sunday. We both have full-time jobs and families that we're trying to. No, I know we get shit for it all the time because it's like, yep, we're definitely doing it. And then like 5 o'clock on Sunday, it's like, hey guys, my plumbing's blowing up. Guess we're not doing the podcast tonight.
It happens.
But from there again, it's like all my TikTok is blown up. Like, and unfortunately, my YouTube has kind of taken the price for that. But
you know what? I just want to throw that out there. You really, trying to keep a whole bunch of chainsaws up in the air at one time, you really got to focus on one. I don't care who you are. You've got to do that. And it'll be to the detriment of a whole bunch of other things, but you've got to do that if you want to be great at something.
Well, and I finally, like, again, I've been at this like a year and a half now, and it's like everything has taken enough evolutions that I finally know who I am when it comes to content.
Yep.
Like, I am a fairly decent educator. When I put out YouTube videos, they're fairly educational. You can learn from them. You can break down a beef if you watch my videos. I try to put up in as much information as humanly possible. But I've also been in the meat industry for 15 years and have a sick sense of humor. So all of a sudden you put me on a platform where I have like a minute to get out a funny reference or a joke that is pretty dark and most people probably wouldn't appreciate, but there's that niche market that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Again, the amount of people that have come up to me this weekend, it's like, your TikTok doesn't change my life, but no, like literally, but no, I've had people come up to me and been like, I'll have a shit day and I'll sit down and I will immediately pull up your TikTok because I know it'll bring a smile to my face and I know it'll make me happy. I'm like,
I thought he was going to say, I knew it couldn't get any worse, but then I looked at Kyle. So that makes me feel
I get it.
I had somebody just tell me that I'm the first person they hear every morning.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel?
Scared.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Awkward.
Yeah.
It wasn't your wife, right? Someone else.
It wasn't my wife. It was somebody else's wife, and he was standing there. He also listens, so that's good.
How about you, Carrie? You've done, I know we talked in Kentucky, which was a few months ago. We talked a few times, of course, but you've made some big life changes in the last year too, haven't you? Ish, right? As far as business goes?
Yeah, the business is solidly not, let me put it this way. I'm doing what I want to be doing.
Right. That's what I love.
So it is foraging classes. It is homestead education, homestead design, particularly with, taking on the permaculture perspective. So, I've got my own live stream that happens 6:30 Eastern every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We do that for, 45 minutes to an hour. Often topics by request. Folks are, kind of commenting or emailing me asking for certain aspects of a particular process to be broken down and explain a little more depth. Sometimes it's more of a homestead update, which is stories and whatever we're up to. So, been enjoying that. And Strong Roots Resources is thriving and well afloat.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I know you don't need to hear it, but I am. I don't know, everybody. People that just take the leap and do it, because you can either succeed or fail. For the most part, you get to choose.
The change I've seen in him since the day I heard his name,
yes,
and just started seeing him Who is this dude?
The confidence,
And well, yeah, the dude that was jumping into backyards and taking off accounts that the commercial lawnmowers didn't want in his spare time and doing that and scrapping to make ends meet, to the guy that I met today that, you know, fires customers because they're not what he needs.
Right. Love it.
And can target people that fit him. The change there in, I've known you for what, 5 years maybe? Yeah. Known of you for maybe 5 or 6.
And isn't afraid to price his services what they're worth.
Charge people what he's
what your
worth.
Time is worth.
Knowing your value and expecting the value in return.
Yeah.
Well, that's the craziest thing about all this content anyway, is like just the weird confidence you gain doing all of this. Because I mean, it's like all of us here, or most of us here, are like own businesses or part of major businesses and like do real stuff in the outside world.
I don't.
Well, you don't. You're a hobo, but that's fine. But like
my bills lower. So.
Doing this content stuff, like I've said it multiple times, I have gained a whole new sense of confidence.
Oh yeah.
In the fact that I can say stuff on the internet and people listen, and people will email me and be like, "Hey, you gave me the confidence to go out and start raising pigs." And I literally just came from Tractor Supply and bought my first things of fencing because listening to you talk about raising pigs over and over and over again has finally given me the confidence of like, hey, I think I can do this. It's like, if this idiot can do it, I sure as hell can. But it's like, when you get those messages, when you meet people here and they go, hey, I listen to your podcast every week. Or, hey, I really like what you do with this. Hey, I have a question for you. I want to do this. What would you do in this situation? It's like, again, before I started doing this, I've never had that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you to finish, and then I was going to tell my SRF story.
If you didn't say even an idiot like you could do it, I was going to say that door is not very wide, and his head was getting kind of big.
Kind of big. I know.
There's a zipper here. It's
2 years. So I had a Facebook memory yesterday that said 4 years ago we finished the renovations to the very first daycare. We weren't licensed yet, but we used that as that was the time we could open for business. We didn't have the government say so yet, but that's our 4th anniversary. We finished the renovations. We had something that looked like a daycare. We might not have had a kid for the first couple of months, and then we were ready to tear it down for a while, but it always seems to roll out of SRF. So 2 years ago, when Becky and I were driving, we were leaving SRF, and she falls asleep. She sleeps while I drive. Because for those who don't know, it's a 30-hour drive for us from here to, Kanakistan. So we get there, and we're about halfway along, and all of a sudden, she wakes up. She's like, I know what we're going to do. And, of course, I'm like, great, because she's awesome. She comes up with the greatest ideas. She goes, we're going to open a new daycare. There was a few grants, and she's like, I'm going to bite into this. She goes, we weren't doing great at that point. Like this is just over 2 years ago. We were doing okay. We were the bills, taking a small salary. Said we are going to open a new daycare in Lloydminster. Doesn't matter where that is, but it's a nearby city. But it's an hour away, which requires us to be away quite often. So today, 2 years later, right now we got like 150 kids, 45 employees, and we're ready to expand to another floor to add about another 100 kids to the daycare. And almost all of that came out of inspiration that we got from everybody here. And John Willis saying, I bet you won't do that. Although he knew we would. Now that he knows Becky, he doesn't say that to us anymore. He's just like, go do it. When we first went to look for this daycare, we had 4 properties that we made offers on, and 3 of them got turned down by the city for different reasons, or, one thing or another. And each time I'd go look at one, I'd send John Willis the picture. I'm like, this is the one we're ready to sign a lease on. And then I'd send him the next one, like, this is the one we're going to sign. And then the next one, and finally the 4th one. And now he's seen it, So that comes out of here. The building up, the encouragement, when you get around other people who are entrepreneurs who do things, this is the shit that comes out of here. And most times you'll get your best ideas and the best motivation halfway home from the event.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else come out of having to come to Tennessee to come to this fantastic event?
No. Oh, sorry. You were. That was a lead. That's what they call a leading question in journalism, folks. So So yes, many things. But a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, coming to Nicole's LFTN workshop, we discovered we fell in love with Tennessee more than just a little bit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Cary or the apple pie moonshine. I don't know what it is, but we fell in love with the area. Really, it's the freedom and the anarchy and all our beautiful friends here. So we decided to start looking for land in all the wrong places, and eventually we found it in the right place. 45 minutes south of John and Amanda's location here. And that turned into, I don't even know where to go with it. But so it just started as a raw piece of 10 acres. Now it's 16 acres because we stole some from a neighbor. No, that's not true. We bought some more. And
Anarchy.
anarchy. No, that's the wrong form of anarchy. Yes, we just moved the state. Yeah.
They didn't have a surveyor out there.
So we have two people whom we consider some of our best friends in the world. I hate to say it, but this is one of them right here. And Corey, his wonderful wife. I know the standards are low. You know how you said your expectations were low here? That's how I feel with Brian, and he always is under them anyway. So, anyway,
if you set him here, when he goes here, you're like, man, he did a great job.
Right. So we found this off-grid property that is just absolutely incredible, and you'll hear more about it in my presentation later. As a matter of fact, these two are going to be on stage with me because, again, they're great friends. And so that led into building a shitter. And you know what they say, if you build it, they'll come, right? And we built a shitter, and then all of a sudden,
hopefully not in the shitter.
We built the shitter, and 18 people showed up, and we had a work day. And what did we build in that day, Brian?
8x8 cabin.
Something that I could sleep in if I wanted to. So then this spring I came down, and in the meantime, we made
Didn't do anything.
no, nothing. So in the meantime, during that time, we discovered that Brian and Corey wanted to stick around. So can I? Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So we made an agreement with them that they're going to work on the land, and we're going to give them some land. So they're now our neighbors, our friends, our caretakers. Brian takes care of the land and does all the shit that I wish I could be down here to do. We get to talk, and we have not FaceTimes, but whatever, Zoom calls, whatever it is. Brian takes care of it. They get land. Brian makes money. Our land's taken care of. And then just recently we had another, I can't even call it a work day. It was like a work half a week, 3 days.
Yeah,
Work conference, 26 people, folks, that showed up this time. But none of that would have happened if Brian hadn't made all the plans for us. So
campers,
15 campers.
30 workers.
And eventually it's going to turn into what?
A lot of it's going to turn into a lot of things. Carrie has done a fantastic job designing, implementing permaculture, food forests, plants, and really looking at it whole picture. I'm modeling after him as far as doing foraging classes, education like he does on his property. Everything he does there, we can mirror to our property. We'll have cabins and campsites to kind of put into the community, open for events or retreats, a getaway weekend, or, really open to anything, but we're just developing and keeping it tight knit, I guess.
Absolutely.
But educating and showing people they can do this too, and answering questions, and community education and fellowship, and that's our work day.
Yes.
Work days. We were discussing it, and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to get done. And we had a big, long list because we didn't know how many people were going to show up. We wanted work for everybody to do. We accomplished some great things. But after the end, I wanted to ask people in the group we used to kind of coordinate it. I wanted to ask them if they met somebody new, if they saw somebody they knew, and if they learned something. And I think if they answered yes to 2 out of 3 of those, if everybody could answer yes to 2 out of 3 of those, that we were successful with our work day.
Well, and it's crazy coming out because, again, I've been following it in the Telegram groups.
I got to slide out. I got to go help the missus.
Yep.
You guys keep on.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, boys.
We'll see you at 4:30.
Well, it's like, and it's crazy because following Telegram groups, watching like all the growth, remembering when he bought the property in the first place and doing all that. And then this year I was actually able to go out and see the property and work it. And it's crazy. It's super cool to see it all.
I was just seeing if they had any comments. Somebody's from Kentucky watching this.
Oh, fantastic.
No,
So-
Y'all go ahead.
like these guys are talking about the inspiration they got from here. Just talking to these guys, I got inspiration to build the butcher shop that I have now. I started my YouTube channel before the butcher shop was a thing, before we even thought about it. And I was super nervous about it. I was sitting there like, nah, should I, shouldn't I? And actually, I want to say I started watching Kyle's, and I'm like running numbers, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And that went to a 1,500 square foot building, and now we're up to almost 5,000 square feet, and we're not even a year into it.
Nice.
So
That's impressive.
yeah, it's grown tremendously, and that's where most of my time's been spent up to this point. So we'll see how it keeps on growing.
Nice. How many times have you been asked if you can get some beef?
A lot.
Yeah,
A lot.
a ton.
If you had this conference in Western New York, you'd like be.
Oh yeah, we'd be sold out. Like, that'd be amazing.
So one thing that people can do, and I don't know if anybody that's watching or watches this after does the digital pass. So you can get video streams and replays of all the presentations and things, and that's great. They're great. There's a ton of information, but it's way different here.
Yeah.
The in-person contacts, the conversations you have walking around, the people you see. If you do get information and value out of the video and you've watched it, really see if you can figure out how to get here.
It's worth it.
Tennessee's the middle of the country right now. It's October. The next one is usually June, April. Okay, not June, April, or even next October. You have 12 months to figure out how to get to Tennessee. Tim comes from Canada. He comes from New Hampshire. He's from New York. He's from Mississippi. This guy's from Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee. You can make it here. There's people from all over we're international every year. Not even just the Canadian guy, but continents, new continents. So try to make it here.
So Raphael said they've been a butcher for 37 years.
Well, fantastic. That's awesome, Raphael.
Hey,
Start a channel and show us what you got.
You got a YouTube channel, Raphael?
If you do, drop it in the comments. Make sure everyone follows Raphael too.
What are you, Sean? Come here and introduce yourself. You got a project going on here?
Yeah, I got to do this.
Oh,
Okay.
well, plug your shit real quick.
Say hi to the live stream.
Oh, hi, live stream.
Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. My name is Sean Mills. You can find all my stuff at Hack My Homestead on the socials or hackmyhomestead.com. I pretty much teach people how to live off grid, whether that be being their own utility company for water or for electricity. I just got done talking about rainwater collection, storage, treatment, etc. Do a lot of stuff with solar, people that want to do that, gray water and black water management. So if you live in an area that won't perk and you want to find out how to get rid of your waste without digging a hole in the ground and pooping into it, I can help with that too.
He also has a luscious beard. Luscious.
We'll probably wrap up so you can do your stuff there.
Okay.
What time is your presentation there?
Here?
Yeah.
Now.
Till?
Oh, like 30 minutes, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic.
All right. We should wrap up here because they're going to be doing presentation. And right after that, we got a presentation.
To do.
But we'll be back live a little later today, and then we'll also probably tomorrow be streaming live quite a bit. So we had a little technical difficulties getting stuff set up, but we're rocking and rolling now. So we'll be grabbing presenters that have done presenters up there, talking to them and stuff like that. So,
and whether it's on this, whether it's on our individual YouTubes or TikToks, things like that, make sure you follow all of us. We'll pass the mic around, make sure everybody, Carrie, if you want to start. So of course,
wait till he takes a
I was
drink.
having some ice to cool myself. StrongRootsResources.com YouTube channel, same name. Feel free to subscribe, tune in. We'll chat every Friday night at 6:30.
Check the Lots Project, LOTS, not lost, lots as in lots of stuff. TheLotsProject.com and search it anywhere. You'll find my stuff.
If you listen to the morning show, you'll get lost. But no, listen to the morning show. It's fantastic.
Not kid friendly unless your kids are adult friendly.
Right. You can find me everywhere at Backwoods Butcher 603. That is TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, even though it is an absolute wasteland. So go check us out over there. I will be doing some lives coming out of here. More than likely, the presentation we're going to be doing on content creation, I will more than likely go live on TikTok for that. So if you're interested in that, Go check it out over there.
Blake Sleakers at Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And I'm on Telegram with these guys. Check out the Telegrams.
Yes.
Ryan's got one.
Do you have a podcast?
Yes.
Oh, we do have a podcast. I'll let Joe plug it.
Meet the Critters every Sunday. Try to go every Sunday.
Try to go
Right.
Sunday. God, you suck.
Both of you.
Both of you. Both of us.
Yeah, I didn't finish.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't finish. Yeah, Meet the Critters. We stream it on YouTube. We're on Spotify. What other platforms?
Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can download podcasts, it's uploaded to. And it's MEAT because we're punny like that.
And I'm Zach Nash, Tri-Oaks Ranch on TikTok and on YouTube. And sometimes with these knuckleheads, I'll Meet the Critters.
All
All right, guys, we'll catch you a little later. Stick around, turn on notifications so when we go live, you get that ding, 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 and you stop in.
I do like it how we're sitting here like, all right, cool, we're in the live, but one of us has to walk over there and turn it on.